Good afternoon and welcome to the Media Center at the Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio tournament here in Boca Raton, Florida. We're joined by 2020 champion and the defending champion at Boca Rio, Madelene Sagstrom. Madelene, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
When you stepped on site this week, probably a little different compared to the 2021 Gainbridge LPGA that was hosted by Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. What was it like to step back foot here on Gainbridge grounds at Boca Rio?
Well, last time I was sitting in this room, there was champagne on the side, a nice trophy. No, it's just so nice. I mean, I have really great memories from here, so I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be playing this course again, so I really enjoy coming back.
A lot of past champions at events, when we ask them a question, the memories that strike up, they talk a lot about the shots. They can envision the shots that they hit, and those kind of strike a chord when they get back out on the course for a practice round. Has that happened to you this week? Any deja vu moments or anything that maybe hopefully sparks win number 2 here?
Well, I played the back nine yesterday, so we put out a little fake hole to where the final pin was on the Sunday, and I stood on the left side and I was like, I know exactly what this putt does. So it was kind of cool. I have a different caddy than when I won, so he said to us, I'm just going to listen to you this week. I'm just not going to say anything. I was like, I think that's a good idea because I'm pretty sure I know how to get around here.
Good. Speaking of caddy, your boyfriend, Jack, your father-in-law, was on the bag for you when you won, and I think his maiden trip on the bag and also retired in the same tournament.
Yeah, it was a very short career, but no, he was here on vacation with the family. My then original caddy couldn't come, so I said, well, do you want to just pick up the bag and help me out? So he did. He went from pretty much walking in the bushes on the practice round, so I was like, you kind of have to walk with me, to literally walking, like strolling on TV, like, I love this thing. So it was a big week for him, big week for the family, but we really had a great time.
You couldn't convince him to come out of retirement for a week?
Well, I thought I would have to take him to the hospital after the week because he was so tired. So we figured this is one and done.
Good.
You got to finish on top.
We'll open it up for questions. If you have any questions on Zoom, just comment in the chat function, and we'll call on you. John, sure. Do you have any questions here in the room?
Just continuing, I guess this is the 2-year anniversary to the day of you winning here. I'm just wondering what some of the flashbulb memories are of that day. I remember when your opponent missed that putt, you kind of having this stunned look, not really, quite sure, trying to convince yourself that you actually won this thing. But what are some of your memories?
Well, I think kind of when you come back now, it's the atmosphere. I mean, there's nobody out here yet. So the atmosphere is so quiet because last time I played, it was so loud. The fans, I remember after I hit the shot on 17, the fans were screaming. Like, I've never heard that loud of a scream for me hitting a golf ball before. So it's kind of weird because it's so different, but it's just so many good memories. I can pinpoint some of those shots that we were just talking about before, and it's just a nice, comfortable feeling when you have really confident when you go to a place.
Madelene, how much different was it last year to go to a tournament where you're the defending champion and have it be at a complete different location?
Well, obviously, I mean, I would have preferred to go back because you want to play on the same location. But, I mean, Lake Nona was such a good golf course for last year. So it was still kind of home game for me. So I enjoy that too. But this feels a little bit different this year. I feel like the tournament, like having Gainbridge LPGA at Boca Rio, feels like where it's supposed to be for me.
Exactly. When you heard that it was obviously coming back, how excited were you? And just the fan base that I think we established here in year 1 seemed like a pretty good fan base. What was it like from your perspective as a player and just to come back here?
Oh, super excited. I mean, I think personally, I live in Florida, so I love every time something is here. I can drive my own car here. Mm-hmm. I got a really good connection with all the membership, and we just it's just so nice to be back. And I'm happy that they want to support the LPGA, and I think we had a really good turnout last time we were here. So it's really good. It's just like a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Babineau on Zoom, if you can unmute.
Sure. Good morning. I was curious to know what you feel is how would you describe this golf course, first of all, and what do you feel is the biggest key to playing it well?
Well, if we're going to get that inch of rain this afternoon, I think it's going to play quite soft. So I think from time to time it plays quite long, which just suited my game last time and suits my game this time. So, but I mean, in the end of the day, you got to keep it in play. It gets narrow from time to time, and then just you got to start rolling the putter well. That's what I really did last time I was here. I putted really well. So, and the weather I think is supposed to be cold and windy on Saturday, so that's going to play a big part too.
Yeah, what kind of factor does that play? You caught some cold weather last weekend at Lake Nona. You guys are going to get some unseasonably cold stuff this weekend. Just as a player, what's that like mentally to know that's coming?
Well, I think most people wish we had that coming to Scottish Open in the summer, but I guess we start in Florida this time. Well, I think it's like we all know that you have to adjust your game when that happens. It's obviously would be nicer if it was 75 and sunny, but it's part of what we do for a living. So you just kind of have to suck it up and just go with the flow. Bring some hand warmers out, bring the beanie out, and get ready.
And then I was going to ask you, what was the biggest thing that winning did for you?
I think the biggest thing was it made me feel like I belong. I had that was my 4th season on tour, and I kind of just it's hard when you come out and you don't really perform where you think you should perform. So for me, it was kind of I belong out here. I can play against the best players in the world, and it just made me feel more comfortable, more confident, and just trusting my game a little bit more. So it was a huge step in that direction. I mean, when I come out here, I feel so much more calm. I remember my rookie season, I freaked out everywhere I go. I'm like, where's the bathroom? Where's the dining? And now I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I don't have to stress about anything anymore.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Back to John here in the room.
On that note, is there anyone out there who you still see on the driving range, who you still get kind of starstruck, or you just have to pinch yourself, I can't believe I'm playing against this person or these two people, that you just can't shake? Like, wow, I'm on the PGA Tour. Look, there they are.
I think my last starstruck moment was last year when I played Gainbridge with Annika and Anna, and I stood there after. I'm like, is this really happening? Like, I actually get to play a tournament round with Annika. That was probably the last time, but I have had the mentality ever since I came out, like, stand next to the people you're uncomfortable with. So I remember when I was at the US Open in 2016, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stand next to Michelle Way. I'm gonna stand next to Lexi just because I want to get used to this, because this is where I want to play. This is where I want to belong. So, but probably Annika was still that was a little bit uncomfortable.
Did you ever play with her growing up in Sweden?
No, I didn't, but I was fortunate enough to do one of her kind of camp tournament stuff she had back home, so I got to meet her, and that was really cool. But it just felt like kind of that surreal moment, because you'd only seen her on TV. So it was, but now I was like, now I know her personally, which is so cool, because she has so much insight that, I mean, I can only dream to have the same experience that she has. So it's a really cool going from not ever thinking you could talk to somebody to like pick up the phone and call her.
Absolutely. When you won here in 2020, that launched not only your career, but you were able to also put yourself into that category of LPGA Tour champion, advanced to the 2021 and 2022 Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions. How nice is it to come into this event now, having a week under your belt of competition and maybe a little bit of a leg up on a majority of the field?
Yeah, and when you show up here, it's kind of like being back in high school. Like, is everybody saying hi to each other, and it's nice to have. I mean, last week was such a good warm-up week. You play with some of the greatest player in sports and celebrities in all of America. So it's a nice kind of, I kind of know where my game's at, and then you can kind of build on it from there. So it's a really nice way to start the season, and I feel more ready this week than I would have done just going straight into here.
For sure. Back to Jeff on Zoom.
I was double checking with you. Is it safe to say, is it your boyfriend's dad that was caddying
Yes, that's correct.
when you won? That's correct. And was that his one and only time he ever caddied?
Yes, one and done. he started and retired the same week.
Is he an avid golfer?
No, not at all. Actually, I think he quit playing golf a few years ago, and now he likes to come out and watch. I mean, they do. They live back in England, so they come and watch when we play overseas. But this was the first time they came and saw us in America, so it was. I figured, why not make a full deal out of it?
And if you were making all the decisions out there, what did he lend something to it? Would he say the right thing at the right time here and there, or how did that work?
Well, we kind of sat down before the tournament, and I said to him, okay, all I want you to do this week is make sure I add and subtract correctly, because math is not my strongest side. So that was kind of the game plan. And then we kind of took it from there. I think we kind of found a way to talk on the course. We kind of talked about where we wanted to hit it. But, I mean, in the end of the day, I made the decisions, but he really just encouraged me to keep playing my game. And I think from my perspective, just watching him really enjoying it, really enjoying the moment with the fans, going and talking to everybody. Sometimes I had to like call him over. It's like, hey, we got to hit now. Like, you can't talk to anybody right now. But it was it really kept me present and just kept me really pushing what I'm doing, and just the love for the game is kind of that, especially enjoying it with family like that.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Jeff. Madelene, we'll let you out of here on this one. We announced the Epson Tour earlier today, and a couple of great initiatives for the tour with the Epson Tour Player Ambassador Program, $10,000 to each of the 10 graduates yearly, no purse under $200,000, and the lowering of entry fees with their DEI partnership, hoping to cut them in half. To have a global brand like Epson join forces not only with the Epson Tour but the LPGA, what does it mean to the future of women's professional golf, and a tour that you own a single season money title on? What's it like to see them stepping up to the plate?
Well, I think that record's gonna go, first of all. That's kind of I mean, it's just fun. It's just fantastic. I mean, I played in 2016, and it's just such a. For me, I always tell people, like, I'm so happy I missed out on Q School, because really playing on now Epson Tour just made me prepare for this life. It made me understand, how do you travel? What do you like? What do you practice? How do you live this lifestyle? So, I mean, I'm a proud graduate, and it was so amazing, and I know that it's going to bring out a lot of good talent out here. I think it's just going to keep growing and get bigger, and I think it's good for women's golf overall, and it's just going to keep growing the game.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And best of luck this week at Boca Rio.
Thank you.